Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today I will be showing my typical drawing process and how I go about doing my line art for my pieces, and I will be featuring Kairi from Kingdom Hearts 3. This is also her outfit in Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, which is the latest game that came out back in November of 2020. So this piece was actually part of a collection of art and things that I included in a package for one of my really good friends. She goes by the name Kikuma online. She actually has a YouTube channel, so feel free to go check out her channel. I will put a link up on the upper right hand corner of the screen as well as on screen with her username, and I'll probably put it in the description as well. So if you enjoy watching vlog type videos, she does show off a lot of amazingly delicious food, as well as travel footage and cat footage from her friends' cats. So if you like any of those things, feel free to go check her out and support her. She is incredible. She's a great friend and a very hardworking and very sweet person in general. So I've drawn this piece for her since Kairi is one of her favorite characters in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and I was kind of thinking of putting together this package for her since we were initially Tumblr pen pals, and we would send packages to each other fairly regularly, mostly back in my college days, but now that we're older and we're working and everything, things are getting a little bit busy. But last October I actually had a little bit of free time, and I wanted to put together something for her to celebrate her graduating from her nursing program last summer, and October was also her birthday month, and so I figured it's been a while since I sent her anything, and now that I have some more free time to do so, I wanted to put together something. And I figured it would also be really great to film this process because, as a lot of you know, in the art community, October tends to be a more traditional art-focused time of the year, especially with the number of art challenges that occur during that time. So for example, there's Inktober, there's Drawtober, there's OCtober. There are a lot of different challenges, and so I thought it would be really cool to kind of show how I do my typical line art style during a month where that's a very popular thing to do. But of course, this is now March, and it's been a really long time since I filmed this, so you're probably wondering why it took me so long. It's been, 5+ months since filming this, and that's because of a few things. So as I mentioned, this piece was part of a package that I wanted to send to Kikuma, and I was actually waiting for something that I had ordered on Etsy that I wanted to include in her package, and it was from this really popular anime artist who is very well known at different art conventions, anime conventions, and so she has a really great reputation. But for some reason, I had ordered this from her Etsy store and was kind of just waiting for this one item to come so that I could send everything together in a single package to my friend. I was waiting and waiting, and then I think I'd placed the order beginning of October, and so by end of October it was kind of it said the estimated shipping time was a few business days, and it's definitely been longer than that. So I tried reaching out to her via her Etsy store through just the standard contact seller form or whatever, and got a very automated message, which is normal. That's very standard, especially if you're a big artist and you're fulfilling a ton of orders. You sometimes don't have time to personally get through all of your messages and contact everyone. So I was okay, that's fine. But it was also very strange because I think a week or so after I had placed the order, their shop went into a hiatus, and they didn't leave any personal message. It was one of those typical oh, this shop will be right back, I'm busy fulfilling orders, please be patient with me. And so I was okay, I'll just wait, maybe they're just inundated with all of these orders. But the weeks continued to pass on, didn't hear anything from this artist. I tried checking on their social media accounts, and they had been completely silent on all accounts since September, which I was okay, that's kind of strange. So then I was maybe something unfortunate happened. Maybe there was a family emergency, or maybe with this pandemic going on, either this artist or maybe a family member or close friend got very sick. Maybe they're hospitalized and they're just not able to communicate to any of their clients or anything. So I kind of waited and waited, giving them the benefit of the doubt. And then December rolled around and I was like, okay, it's been 2 months since I placed this order and I have not heard anything. At this point, a lot of people were leaving really negative reviews on this artist's Etsy shop, basically saying like, hey, I ordered something, never got it, never heard from the artist. I tried contacting them and they didn't get back to me. And so it was definitely something that was not just something I was experiencing. And at this point, I was like, I really don't need to be hanging onto this package for this one item that may or may not come. And so I decided to just mail it out to Kikuma. And I made sure that it would get there before Christmas. That way this package would kind of be like an all-encompassing package to celebrate and congratulate her for graduating from her nursing program, as well as her birthday back in October, and then also for Christmas and the New Year. So I mailed that out to her, and thankfully it arrived to her safely, and she was able to get it kind of end of December, I believe. And so I was like, great, she's gotten this. She's seen the art, so now I could upload this to my channel, because I wanted to make sure it was a surprise, because I believe she does follow me on this channel, and I didn't want her to see the art and then be like, oh cool, okay, and then for me to send that to her afterwards. I wanted this to be a huge surprise for her and for her to see first. So that kind of brought us to December. So now you're wondering, okay, so from December up until now, which is middle of March, what happened? And that's mostly my bad. We're just becoming very busy with work. So for those of you who have recently subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for joining me on this art journey. My name is Sheeny, and I'm a resident physician, which means I'm a doctor, but still continuing with my medical education and training. And it keeps me very busy. I work anywhere from 70 to 80 hours on average per week when I'm working in the hospital doing an inpatient service. But thankfully, there are times when I am doing more outpatient, clinic type of things. And so I have a little bit more free time to kind of put out some art and videos for you guys. So basically, from January and February, I was very inpatient heavy over at the adult hospital. And I was working a lot of hours to the extent where I would come home, I would eat, shower, and then pretty much just sit in front of my laptop for the rest of the night, just just trying to relax. But also it's kind of like that feeling when you come home and you're so tired and you just don't have the energy or motivation to really do much else besides just passively sit and maybe watch some YouTube videos or watch something on the laptop or just do something mindless. And so that's kind of where I was with January and February, and I was definitely hurtling towards full-blown burnout. I was getting very tired. I'd been working since July, had not had a vacation. My holiday vacation was actually cut short because of some unforeseen circumstances, and then I had to cover for my colleagues and all of that. So I was getting to this point where I was very mentally and physically just drained and just didn't really have the energy to do much else besides come home, do nothing, go to sleep, rinse and repeat. And I always had this back of my mind feeling that I wanted to put out content. I needed to put out, especially this video that had been sitting edited since October, that really needed to be uploaded soon. But I just didn't have the energy, and I just couldn't find the motivation. And on my days off, I would be busy either doing errands or just wanting to do nothing. But I recently finished a 2-week vacation block. It was more like a staycation. It was kind of restful in the sense that, yes, I had some time to not worry about working or patient care or anything like that, but also I was working on taxes and onboarding modules in preparation for the upcoming academic year and renewing my medical license and all of that. But all of that is to say that after that 2 weeks of a mini staycation, I'm currently doing an outpatient rotation, so I'm back down to 35, 40 hours at most per week, and I'm definitely feeling a lot more well rested, and I feel like I'm in a better headspace right now where not only do I have that desire to put out videos, but I'm also finding some energy to do so and to be able to do a good job. And so that kind of brings us to March. So that's kind of the story with kind of where things have been and why it's been forever since I last uploaded a video, and why this one in particular took a while to finally be put on my channel. But yeah, anyways, going back to the actual video itself and the content that's featured in this video. So as I mentioned, this is my typical line art process. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I initially start with a rough sketch. And before that, I actually do a thumbnail. So thumbnailing is something that I feel like in the past few years is something I've started for my drawing process in general, where it gives me a chance to do a very rough, like small scale doodle just to figure out like how I want the character to look, how I want the composition, maybe the pose and all of that. And then once I have a general idea, then I kind of try to translate that idea onto either the page or the piece of paper that's going to have the finished piece. And I'll start with a light sketch. Usually I use colored lead. In the past, I've used graphite, but I found that it's too dark for my liking, and I feel like with colored lead, it's just a lot of fun. So in the past, I used colored mechanical pencil lead, and recently I've been using more like the Prismacolor Cool Erase, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I usually start with a colored sketch, and some artists will use their sketch as kind of like a guide for their line art and all of that, and they're able to kind of improvise their line art with just using their sketch as kind of like a loose idea of the general concept that they want to draw. Whereas for me, I am very particular about my lines. So my sketches are usually very similar to what the line art is going to look like. So initially I might do the sketch very rough with like lighter pressure so that the lines aren't as dark. And then afterwards I'll kind of go over it and clean it up a little bit with darker lines or maybe a different color just to kind of finalize where I want to put down my lines. And then from there, we do the line art process. I guess I could talk more about my line art process in a separate video if that's something that you guys are interested in. I feel like it's fairly self-explanatory and kind of easy to see on cam. And then right now, I feel like I've been very big on just like adding a block of color to the line art just to make it look overall more polished than just a black and white piece. So yeah, so that's kind of everything with this video. Definitely feel free to, ask questions or anything down below in the comments. I know this video was kind of just like all over the place. It's been a while since I last filmed, so I'm slowly trying to get into, doing voiceovers again and trying to have a better idea of what I want to talk about in my videos. But this was kind of just like a catch-up video of like, hey, I have this footage and it really needs to get uploaded soon. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you made it this far, thanks for watching the whole thing. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys are doing well. Continue to stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next video.